as I've ever seen at the college level. Like, it reminds me of the Patriots in their heyday with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, where it's just like you're driven mad by them not screwing up. Like, they just never screwed up. And that's Indiana. They just don't beat themselves this year.
Yeah.
Like, they just don't. And Oregon, this is easy to say, especially in hindsight, but literally that pick six to start, I'm like, oh, it's over. It's over. Because I've watched enough Indiana this year. I was just like, nope, it's done. You cannot hand them points. Indiana allows you to lose the game more than they even win it. And that is not a slight by any way, shape, or form. They just allow you to do it to yourself. And they're there to always take advantage when you mess up. Like the fumbled snap, Indiana did nothing to cause that, but they were there to recover. Best you believe that, you know? So Oregon has to be extremely disappointed if you're an Oregon fan.
Yeah.
Not that you lost, but losing this way a second year in a row to a conference foe has to be extremely disappointing. And you just never gave yourself a fighting chance because of those turnovers so early on in the game. Like, it's over about at halftime again.
Yeah.
So I just can't give Indiana any more praise. It's foolish to ever say never in college football to say that Miami can't beat Indiana. They won't, but saying they can't is wrong.
Yeah.
However, most of the time when we say that, that is based on a team that's that's based on the team that's better making mistakes, not playing their A game. And I've seen nothing to make me assume I'll see anything less than an A game out of Indiana in the national title game. It's phenomenal. And like, here's the thing. If you're Miami, we have to see the Ohio State game version of Miami to have a prayer.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't turn it over. There were no penalties, which we can complain about that till we're blue in the face, because apparently the refs just don't call penalties on Ohio State's opponents. But I digress. Like, Miami was doing everything they could to shoot themselves in the foot and keep Ole Miss in that game. And that's not taking anything away from Ole Miss. If Chambliss has 10 more seconds, I truly believe Ole Miss wins that game.
Yeah.
But they have to play like their version of the Hurricanes against Ohio State. Because if they play like they did against Ole Miss, they'll get run out of the building. They will. That you can't have penalties to put you in 2nd and 20. You can't, you're not going to get the bounces where you fumble it and it bounces right back into your hands. It just won't happen. So if they play like they did against Ole Miss, and for the sake of a good game, I hope they play more like they did against Ohio State.
Yeah.
But do you guys have anything? Like, I don't trust Carson Beck to go nuclear. That was my only thing with Trinidad. If Ole Miss got through, it'd be like, well, he could just lose his mind again. And maybe, I have no other analysis other than that.
Because for much of that game, Carson Beck was very meh. And that sounds overly critical for a quarterback that has got this team to a national championship. So, take that with a grain of salt. I think the path for potential victory for Miami is that they could, I'm not saying they will, but they could stop Indiana's running game in a way that Oregon did not, in a way that Alabama did not. And then, in that case, you're asking Fernando Mendoza to kill you. And he can. But you would rather roll the dice with him, I think, than, allowing 5 yards a run, then it's 2nd and 5, and Indiana can pick their poison. Do we want to throw it downfield for 40 yards and kill you instantly, or do we want to run it down your throat and kill you slowly and painfully? Because they did both to Oregon. They did both. Yeah. And I'm with you. I think if you're I still think Dan Lanning is a great coach. I think he's a top 10 coach in college football.
Absolutely.
And if your immediate reaction to that is, oh no, are you kidding me? 2 blowout losses in the playoff. Hey, look, I get it, but okay, go ahead. Name 10 coaches you'd rather have right now than Dan Lanning. That's something to be addressed. it's one of those things where if you're Oregon, it is a step of becoming a Big Ten team. Like, I know you are physically, like currently you have the logo on your chest, but I'm saying like when it comes to competing in the Big Ten, and look, I know you won the Big Ten championship, but if you're the Ducks, are you really pounding your chest about that now that you've had back-to-back huge losses? And really, if you throw in the Indiana game from this regular season, your 3 biggest Big Ten opponents that you have faced, you have lost. So the key to becoming a Big Ten team that can compete for a national championship in what I think is the best conference in college football, we've magically, wow, what do you know? We've reestablished that with again. You have to take some steps from a physicality perspective. And it's not even like that's not even me saying like, well, Oregon just needs to get in the weight room more. That's not really what I'm saying. It's more X's and O's than it is lifting weights. But Oregon's got a little bit of growth still to happen. You thought maybe last year's blowout would cure it. Apparently not. Also, Indiana's just really, really good.
Really good.
That's the main piece of this.
And a couple things, like Oregon is so young. Like people think, oh man, they got blown out last year. They didn't learn going into this year. Guys, it's mostly a new team.
Yeah.
Like most of those guys graduated. They're gone. Like this is a very young team. If Dante Moore comes back, I will say this right now, that's a preseason probably top 2 team if Dante Moore comes back. And he should, by the way, in my opinion.
I agree.
Like what is the common denominator in the success of most of these teams in the playoff in college football this year? Veteran quarterbacks
not the SEC.
with a ton of reps. Yes, Josh, also not the SEC. But it's veteran quarterbacks who have thousands of reps under their belt. Trinidad, I don't care that he transferred from Division II. He was playing. And he was playing. That's my point. He's not sitting on the bench. Listen, I love Julian saying this is not a critique. He can't do anything to just be older and have more experience. Like you can't magically do that. You just have to go through the growing pains of that. But the fact is he was a first-year starter. He had not had the reps, and he's not even like a senior first-year starter, So he was always going to have those growing pains, and you'd have to have a lot of help around him to get to the promised land. Carson Beck might not look all that brilliant on the field, but he's doing exactly what Mario Cristobal's asking of him, which is to allow our lines of scrimmage to win the game. Don't lose it for us. Don't take the critical sack. Don't force the ball into a window you don't need to. Take the incompletion. That has been Miami's method to winning these games. Carson Beck isn't the reason why they beat Ohio State. Nobody would say so. And he was brilliant down the stretch against Ole Miss, but I still don't think you would say he's the reason they won that game. Their lines of scrimmage have been absolutely phenomenal, and he's made key plays in specific moments where it's not a physical trait that is the cause of success. It's not, oh man, Carson Beck just ripped that, into the window. It's he totally understood what coverage the defense was running, and therefore he knew where the opening was, where the gap was. He knew he could run for 8 yards and get the first down. He saw the defenders turn their back. He knows they're going to bite inside and be able to throw the out route. So that is what has been happening in most of these games. Fernando Mendoza's played a million snaps. Carson Beck obviously has. Trinidad has. Like, Dante Moore needs some more playing time, really, in my opinion. And, like, he should come back and get that next year. I get it. If he's like a top 2 pick, that's really, really hard. And that's what it appears to be right now. But I don't think any Jets fans were watching and overly thrilled because, like, I hate to break it to you, your offensive line is going to look a lot similar.
Yeah.
Probably with the Jets next year. And, buddy, I just go back to Oregon for a year. Not even to avoid the Jets, just to get better. Just to get better and get
and you'll
more
make comparable
reps.
Money.
Yes.
Like, that's the other part of it, too. And
just come back.
Obviously, Dylan Raiola is going to Oregon. That's transfer news today. But guys, from what it sounds like Raiola's down to chill on the bench if Moore comes back, which honestly, good on Raiola, because he's basically taking the Dante Moore approach to Dante Moore.
He'd probably be better for it.
Yeah. Yep. So I think that's a
I'm
good
just
move
surprised he didn't
on
go
his
to
part.
Texas Tech.
Well, yeah. Lane Kiffin's got his quarterback. If we want to continue on the transfer portal news for a moment, we thought he was going to Kentucky. Turns out he's going to LSU.
What a jerk.
Ohio State has like 3 players left on their roster right now. So it's madness. I'll wrap up maybe this conversation by just saying this. Indiana is beating teams so badly that if you go onto Twitter, you will find people with conspiracy theories that Indiana's just straight up cheating. You know what? Maybe they are, but that's how broken they have made this college football playoff and this season. They have just been that dominant. 1 game away from being the first 16-0 team ever.
It is so dominant. I have people on both Twitter and TikTok trying to walk back the idea that this team would smash the 2019 LSU team. And we have to be careful, and because I'm not going to dignify past that. People are talking about that. It's not even worth the discussion.
Yeah.
No.
But that's again 2021. You tell 2019 LSU, you talk to Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, and you go, hey, pretty soon Indiana's going to be compared to you guys.
That's right.
In what, lacrosse, whatever sport they played in the
right.
winter. Yeah. I would like to finish this discussion by mentioning that for all the genuine anger that I think, at least I had, I think it was shared among my co-hosts at ESPN and Greg Sankey and Feinbaum and Herb Street and Klatt and all those guys talking about how there needed to be at least 6 to 9 SEC teams in. SEC finishes 1-8, or sorry, 1-7. No, 1-8 in bowl games against P4 opponents. In the playoffs specifically, the SEC only won 1 game that wasn't another SEC opponent, technically, and that was Tulane, former SEC.
Yes,
They're
more championships than Ole Miss, I believe.
You're
in
correct.
the SEC.
Correct. You are correct. Their final margin of loss against a non-SEC Power 4 teams in the playoff, they were outscored 79-33.
Lovely.
But were there people opting out in the playoff too? Because I thought the reason why they weren't winning bowl games.
I was
is
on the
opt-outs.
Alabama message boards, and they was like, "Oh yeah, Alabama doesn't care." Really? Yeah, we don't care about the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Really cool.
You know what?
I'm glad you guys don't care about. We wanted to buy. Cool.
Yeah. Look, if you're an SEC guy, we love you, even though it sounds like we hate you. We do love you. We just more like to make fun of you. But we do love you. If you are saying, well, there was opt-outs in these bowl games, great. There were. But then don't turn around and tell me it means more. You got to pick one. You can't pick both.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You can't pick both.
It means more means that everything is.
And other conferences had those
115%.
opt-outs too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
It just
everybody
means
was
more would
talking,
mean that
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Tennessee doesn't have their leading receiver. Cool. Illinois doesn't have their lead tackler. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, it's.
Yep.
I'm not going to say ever it's 1 for 1. You can't equate it, but you're not the only ones that have players with draft stock they want to protect. Like,
Yep.
And Josh, to your point, I don't even think I think this is something to remind our Southern friends. This is not even Big Ten people wanting like the Big Ten to now be receiving the benefit of the doubt. No. We literally just want the SEC getting the benefit of the doubt to die.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, we don't cheer for our fellow conference mates in the postseason. We just are so sick and tired of the SEC getting the benefit of the doubt. We want you to lose. Like, I'm cheering for the Big 12 and ACC to beat you guys too, because we're tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
How about we just have all of these teams getting ranked throughout the season and in the preseason based on true merit and what we've been able to witness on the field?
Yeah.
That is all we want. Tennessee and Missouri being ranked all year, having basically no wins over teams with a better than 500 record is bogus. And that was half of Alabama's gauntlet. We got to get over it, guys. We got to be watching the film, what's happening on the field. The fact that Iowa basically was almost never ranked was a joke. And people definitely think that now. That team was 5 points and even closer than that to beating Indiana.
Yep.
Like that's what we're talking about. Big Ten doesn't deserve that benefit of the doubt the SEC's been getting either. We just actually watch the film.
Yep.
Don't look at logos. And SEC fans, stop cheering for your conference mates. It's weird. They're your rivals.
Yeah.
That's strange. I was thrilled when Texas beat Michigan. Like, that's just
Yes.
I'm sorry. Like, that's
want the
weird
Big
if you're a
Ten-
Mississippi State fan cheering for Alabama in the playoff. That's weird.
For the purposes of this specific discussion, I generally am rooting Big Ten in all the bowl games, except for Michigan. I want them to be embarrassed every single time.
There was
And
that
if the
one
monkeys-
year where the
and if
Big
the
Ten
monkey
went
ball has-
undefeated except for Michigan. That was
Except for
kind of
Michigan.
funny.
That is a perfect postseason
Ideal.
for me. That's an ideal postseason. And listen, if that means the monkey's paw has to curl occasionally and Ohio State gets an early round exit, I'll live.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's a true hater and passion, Josh. Good job.
Yep. And look, I know bowl games, that's not the best way to judge conference versus conference, but you
Hey,
all.
maybe schedule us and we'll be able to get an actual
Yeah, right.
lead.
Exactly.
Oh no, but
Yeah.
if we're gonna get punished for losing to Ohio State, sorry, we did that. We litigated that like 5 weeks in a row.
Yep.
But hopefully this shuts a little bit of that. I'm not going to say the media. I called out the specific people I called out because those were the voices that were getting promoted on all the socials. It's okay that there's more parity. It's okay that the SEC's playing field is less dominant. That is totally, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's actually probably
clearly-
good for the sport.
It's good for the sport. It makes more people across more regions of the country. Listen, we mocked the ACC mercilessly for letting Duke in to their championship. And rightly so, because obviously it was the right decision if they can beat Virginia. But it didn't seem to hurt Miami. Like, it's okay. Your conference can be weird and you could still have good teams come out of it. We had this all the time with the old Pac-12. A consistently weird, self-inflicted wound of a conference, but you would still have genuinely good teams coming out of that.
Yeah.
You can have both. There's no issue with yes and.
Yeah. And
It's okay.
just
Vandy doesn't have to be good. Missouri doesn't. You don't have to pretend that Missouri is somehow this sleeper. It's okay. They're Missouri. It's fine.
Yeah.
Arkansas, they're fine. It's okay.
Arkansas would wish they're fine. From the ACC perspective, Miami just getting to the championship is great on so many levels. But if you're thinking again from a conference perspective, it's the money that Miami will bring to the conference for winning all these games. That's it's enough money that it's important. So I'm glad to see an ACC team there. If they win it, you're going to get more conversation of, wow, Miami, they really like an SEC caliber team. To that, shut up.
Shut up.
They're not. They're better than that because they beat. Anyways,
Yeah, because they won.
this is the wormhole that we'll never climb out of. So I'm gonna hard
Oh yeah.
turn into the NFL wild card. Speaking of,
I'm talking about you, Ryan Clark. Don't you dare say a non
Oh,
a
man.
not ever SEC team is the most spiritually SEC. Shut up.
yeah,
Go away. Go into whatever.
Oh,
Go where.
hooray!
where you live.
Hypotheticals.
yeah.
Hooray, hypotheticals.
You know what? Here's
Hypothetically,
my
Miami
transition.
would have done really well in the SEC.
Here's my transition. The Packers theoretically won that game on Saturday night. There we go.
Oh,
There we go.
Woo! Yeah, so wild
Man.
card weekend in the NFL, you have four of the five games, and we'll see what tonight is like here in an hour. Good luck, Josh.
Stupid game coming up.
Probably.
What a good weekend of games until the last one.
Well, right. Last
I
night,
think this will be close.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Oh,
it-
you
it
mean
seemed-
last night? That was awful.
Yeah.
We nearly saw a murder on the field.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And like the only people that would have been convicted is Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers offensive line.
Mhm.
That was total. I mean, Twitter was on another level last night with that. I mean, they're just setting videos of war zones basically, and it's just what Justin Herbert sees when he drops back for
Right.
a pass.
Well, and that's
Like,
why obviously
I
one of the talking
just-
points today is he's 0-3 in the playoffs now with the Chargers. Like, yeah, I get that. But I can count one game his coach failed him. This game, his offensive line failed him. Like at some point, yeah, I want to see Justin Herbert step up and actually, win a game on his shoulders, kind of like we saw Josh Allen do a little bit against the Jags at the end. But as much as Josh Allen's supporting cast is probably not enough to get him to a Super Bowl, and now they're down a wide receiver who tore his ACL, it's still better than what Justin Herbert had to deal with yesterday. So, but I want to go back to that Bears-Packers game because of the 5 games, that
What a
was
game.
absolute nonsense. Matt LaFleur said all the right things going into halftime in that interview. Oh, second half, 0-0 game. We got to fight for these 30 minutes. Rah, rah, rah. Great. Did you forget to tell your team that in the locker room? Like you told the reporter that. Did you forget to tell your team? Because that team came out completely flat. Like Jordan Love, I felt like he just looked disinterested in the second half. Like, what was happening? What happened? And now, great on Chicago. I mean, they're still kicking field goals in the third quarter. But we talked about Trinidad Chambliss, and then to watch him, and then go right into Caleb Williams, basically, and watch him with some of the heroics, that fourth and whatever it was, with 5 minutes left, rolling out to his left. I mean, what a ridiculous throw. If the Bears go on a deep run to the playoffs, the fans in Chicago will be watching that specific play on repeat for the rest of their lives.
I think they will anyway.
Well, sure.
It's against the Packers
Right.
in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like the demons are killed.
Yeah.
Like that's the loudest I've ever heard an NFL stadium on a broadcast. Like easily.
Yeah.
And to all of those who would like to put these games in domes, screw you.
Yep.
Because being outside in the snow flurries was absolutely part of the magic of that game. But the crazy thing is, Caleb Williams has so much room to grow. He had horrific moments in the first 3 quarters of that game where I'm just like, every time I'm like, the Bears are still in this. The Bears are still in this. And then he makes another stupid throw or turnover. And I'm like, Caleb, just come on.
Yeah.
And the Packers just lost all aggression. I think they didn't have a first down until 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter or something in the second half. It was something stupid like that.
Yeah.
You can't do that in the NFL. This is not college football, early games against MAC schools. That's not what this is. You have to go put your foot on their throat and finish them off. And normally the Packers are very good about that against the Bears, but it's a different Bears team now with Caleb Williams and Johnson as their head coach. I just was remarkably impressed with the Bears not panicking. They kept screwing up. They kept screwing up. They kept screwing up. Some people were screaming, why are you kicking a field goal to go down 12 instead of 15? I'm like, because it's 4th and 15. This is the right call. And I think that was the overall takeaway. Wow, I would have expected you guys to lose your composure in this moment, as you so regularly do. In the past, I might add, different, people leading the way. And they didn't. And not a single fan left that building.
Yeah.
And what an amazing win for them. I mean, I picked the Bears to win.
I did too.
I didn't expect it to go that way. I'm mad at myself for not parlaying all my picks this week.
Oh,
right now, we're even. We're perfect. So I'm kind of mad.
I'm one Eagles loss away from being perfect. So
yeah,
and that was
I got that one.
I just thought the 49ers were just too injured, and they kind of
Yeah.
were, to be honest, because George Kittle goes down with an
they were.
Achilles,
They
and
were.
it turns out the Eagles are just that dysfunctional. Guys, what happened to the Eagles? like
the offense in the second half, man. But all year.
no, but I'm saying,
That's
yeah,
not
I'm
new.
speaking more of like a season thing, like coming off of a Super Bowl. That was a
Yeah.
dysfunctional team this year.
Yeah.
And they were finding ways to win games in part because that division was just atrocious. But I don't know what they're going to do in the offseason. Like, I don't think they're not going to fire Sirianni. Like, it's not going to, I'm not
No.
suggesting that, but there's going to be some changes that would probably surprise some people if they had not watched any of the games and had just seen the Eagles record and the fact they made the playoffs and won the division again. But yikes. Not good.
No.
Not good.
But that's like a team tells you who they are during the season. And the Eagles told us who they were.
Yeah.
So, yes, the 49ers were super injured, but if you have watched the Eagles this season, that really their play should not have surprised you here in the playoffs against the 49ers, even at home.
And it didn't surprise me. I just thought that they'd be able to overcome it for one game until they got beat the next round. The Bears will face and host the Los Angeles Rams, who survive the Panthers. You talk about a team not quitting. The Panthers, I kind of expected to roll over. What, they were down 21-7, something like that.
Something like that.
And they did not give up. And so that was good to see. They made it a game. They were up late and then tragically played prevent defense, which, you know the saying, the only thing prevent defense prevents you from is winning.
It just makes no sense.
Yeah.
I don't think any fan will ever understand.
Yeah. Josh, what are we feeling with this Pittsburgh game tonight? Confidence level of
what are we doing
confidence level
tonight?
of them winning on a scale of 1 to 10.
They've won 23 straight Monday night home games.
What a stat!
It's got to end
won-
eventually.
but haven't won a playoff game in 6 years. But you also have a Houston team that is 0-6 on the road on the playoffs all time.
Wow.
But it seems like they're peaking.
It's beautiful.
But
I
that
love all
last
these
drive
stats.
from Rodgers looked like it's peaking when he decided that he wanted to stop listening to the OC.
And they get Metcalf back.
And Metcalf's back. I don't know.
Josh, does Tomlin leave if they don't win tonight? What's your prediction?
We are the Bengals. We are the Bengals if this is the case. We have been, and I haven't wanted to think that thought in my mind. I've pushed this away. But we are the Bengals. Sneaking in, not winning a playoff game in the wild card, and hoping next year maybe just a slight variation. Except we don't even now. We've not had a franchise quarterback, and theoretically, I could say, well, at least the Bengals had Dalton, and there was at least a bit more expectation. But I'm not going to give them that. That's all right. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah.
I don't know. You have two defensive powerhouses versus whatever the opposite of a powerhouse is in offense. But again, they're both peaking really, really late. So,
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if this is a high-scoring game.
no.
That would be my main prediction.
This is Iowa Northwestern back in the day. This is a 3-2.
hit the under, man.
Yes.
Slam that under.
Take the under.
I just would be so surprised if it's a high-scoring game with these two
over-under
defenses.
is 234.5 for CJ Stroud passing yards.
I'd hit the under on that. They could
think
win, and he gets the under, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Absolutely.
not...
No, that's not. Yeah, this is not. Yeah. Right now, Texans is a 3-point favorite. That's it.
I think that's a perfect spread.
Buh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vegas is going.
Perfect spread.
What are you doing with these teams?
Yeah.
So Houston doesn't travel well. The Steelers don't always appear well. So, meh.
Josh, picks wise, I know we're not at that segment yet, but
but
if the Texans beat the Steelers tonight, all
probably hit.
three of us will have our Super Bowl matchups intact
Ooh.
after the wild card
All right.
weekend, which is a pretty remarkable. That's got to be like the best we've ever done
Yeah.
Yeah.
in a playoff format.
I mean,
Like,
I almost lost
It's
the
that
Rams
Thanos
immediately.
meme of what did it cost?
Yeah, I know,
everything?
Aaron.
Yeah.
I was thinking about you. I'm like, oh my gosh, Aaron's about to get taken out right now.
Yeah.
And then the 49ers, they survived. I mean, they were all close games. So the 49ers, I thought I'm about to lose them. I still might because they're so hurt.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Mike Tomlin actually has something to say here.
We do not care.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you, Mike.
You didn't add the other one.
What's the other one?
He had another one out.
Does he? I'll have to add
just
it.
last week. Oh yeah, it was the final last season game and going, what would it, one field goal and what would it look like? What would you be, what were you thinking about?
Yeah. I'll add that one.
Yes. I forget
speaking
the
of-
specific quote. I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, speaking of coaches who are calling into the show, Jerry Jones has some thoughts on missing the playoffs.
This is not a good time. I really regret this.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry.
Yeah.
coaching carousel too. Wild. Where's John Harbaugh
man.
going?
Yeah. Every team
He's
wants
coaching
him.
5 teams. Apparently,
Correct.
just like Lane Kiffin.
Correct. Johnny, you had mentioned wanting to parlay your picks together. Now, as I said, I did that, and I did get the Eagles game wrong, Eagles 49ers game wrong, so I don't have to think about this. But I was thinking, if I got the first 5 picks right, Houston was my pick number 6. I think I would have had to cash out. I know the money was going to be good, but I cannot live in a world in which Aaron Rodgers and a Pittsburgh Steelers team wins a playoff game to not only just have to physically watch them win a playoff game with Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback, but to cost me money. No, in no world could I allow that to happen. So I was certainly going to be a chicken and cash out whatever I got, but didn't have to worry about it because didn't get anything.
I wish I knew what I would. Well, no, you know what? I'm better off not knowing what I could have potentially won by parlaying all the wins.
A lot of I don't know why I'm on Packers TikTok, but I
interesting.
am. Yeah, I don't know why. I didn't choose that. That's what they decided. It's because I like a lot of posts about the Midwest, and I think
I thought it was a cheese thing.
no, not a cheese thing. It's probably because I follow Lucy on TikTok, and it's Iowa and it's Midwestern, and I think it's just moves right up. That's what TikTok thinks.
Right.
Anyway, a lot of sad cheeseheads out there, and they're going. The only thing they want is for the Bears to make it all the way through, but also for the Steelers to make it all the way through, so that Aaron Rodgers can beat the Bears one last time.
Oh, man.
And man, wouldn't that be a thing that would make us shut down the podcast?
Yeah, it would.
You know how
We'd be
that
done.
one Panthers
horrible.
podcast was like, we can't emotionally deal with this.
Right.
That would be us with an Aaron Rodgers Steelers victory over the Bears in the Super Bowl.
Oh, most of the country would hate that.
Yeah.
What a
That would be
stupid
horrible.
Game.
Yeah.
Oh, thankfully, CJ Stroud and the Texans will save us from that tonight.
I hope so. And on that note, let's make some picks.
Sometimes the guys make picks based on their vast knowledge of sports. Sometimes they make picks based on vibes.
I'm going to go ahead and say that Maryland takes down Florida.
Chop this one up for the Gators. Chop a national championship for Florida.
Either way, they're probably going to be wrong. It's time for Picks of the Week.
It is Picks of the Week. And as Johnny alluded to, all of our NFL playoff picks are alive. So claps for us, which means our current
Yay.
scoreboard is Johnny with 6 points and Josh with 4 points because Indiana is in the national title game. And I am sitting there with a measly 2 points. But I'm going to try to catch you guys. And starting with some college hoops. Johnny, excellent Picks of the Week pick this week. Your question for us is which men's basketball team stays undefeated the longest? We are down to 5. Arizona, Iowa State, Nebraska, Vanderbilt, and Miami. I'm going with the Red Hawks, number 1, because as I mentioned last week, Johnny and I have already got to see this team in person. They are fun. They shoot the 3 well. They make a bunch, but they're also very efficient. They're awesome. The reason I picked the Red Hawks is partially because I'm biased and I want to see Ohio sports do well, unlike some other Ohio sports I'll mention here shortly. But they also have already defeated Bowling Green and Akron, who are 2 of the top teams in the MAC. There are plenty of pitfalls in the MAC. It's a better conference than I think they typically get credited for. But 2 of the bigger challenges on their schedule are already past them, while all these other teams are playing relatively stacked conferences, Big 12, Big 10, SEC. So for that reason, I'm going with the Red Hawks. What do they say? Love and honor? Yeah.
I really like the movie Hoosiers, and in honor of Hoosiers, I wanted to pick the most Hoosiers type team that I could, and I went with the color red. Nebraska.
Very good.
Nebraska ball. Let's go.
Nebraska ball, exactly.
This is, I mean, it's a total crapshoot because like this isn't even picking who do you think's the best team. So I really looked more at upcoming schedules, and Vanderbilt has a terrible upcoming schedule. Like, it's rough. So does Nebraska. Miami, like, great story. I love them, but I just don't think they're going to go undefeated through the MAC. And that's not a slight. And I do think the best team in college basketball right now, especially with Michigan losing over the weekend to Wisconsin at home, is Arizona. So, and Arizona gets 3 of their next 4 games at home, with that lone game being on the road against Central Florida, who's pretty good. But I do think we're going to get out of this week and we'll have at least lost a couple of these teams.
Yeah.
Like, we're in conference season. Like, these teams are going to drop off. So I know you might be reading the question like, well, they could all still be undefeated next week. True, but I'd be pretty shocked. But how cool is it that they're all in different conferences like this? Like, it's actually pretty fun how evenly spread out it is. It's a fantastic college basketball season so far. So if you haven't been tuning in, welcome. Glad you're joining us.
On that topic, Johnny, I know you've been doing some bracketology. Where do you currently have Miami? Because that's a big discussion with their current undefeated record. They don't have like a lot of like really, really notable wins. Like, they didn't go beat Kentucky because they didn't play them. They can only beat who's on their schedule. But where right now do you have Miami? What seed line do you have them at?
Right. Great question. And so this is some insight in how I do bracketology as well, is if you had them as an at-large, I actually do not have them currently in the field. Now, that's an assumption as an at-large, and that's because there's not enough data yet. So there's a lot of crazy that you look at my bracketology and you just be like, how? That's because some of these conferences are literally 2 or 3 games into conference season. Miami, as the assumed MAC champion, which is what I would give them right now, I would have as a 12 seed, which I think if you are the Red Hawks, barring an undefeated season, which I really like, again, it's really not a ding on your resume to not go undefeated. Assuming they lose, let's just say 2-3 games, I think their best case scenario is probably getting up to a 10 seed. I think it's far more likely to be shooting for that valued 12, that valued 12 seed where you're playing usually a pretty vulnerable power team in the 5 seed. And with the way, Aaron, you saw, we saw how they can shoot. They could take out any of those teams. So I think that really is the goal. If you're Miami, like, you're in a great spot. Just make sure you win the MAC. If they weren't to win the MAC, once they get the more data and once their strength of schedule goes up, because it's atrocious right now, it's 357th. It's one of the worst in the leagues. And that's not totally their fault, but that's why they're 94th in the BPI. That's why they're 65th in the net, despite being unbeaten. So that's actually going to improve getting into the MAC conference slate. So once those numbers get better and once they stack some wins, Akron's their best win right now. Once they're able to do that, I would expect, let's just say worst case scenario, they lose in the MAC tournament, like semifinals or finals. But that's only their 3rd loss. They're going to be in. They're going to be in. Like, it would be terrible if not. So that's why you have to take bracketology this early on with a grain of salt. It's just the 2nd week of January. Right now, like, I have bracketology projections on if the tournament started right now. I'm not going to project currently. That's where I would have them as about a 12 seed as the MAC automatic qualifier.
Nice. I love the breakdown. Let's go from good Ohio sports to bad.
The guys spent hours scrolling social media, and they found some pretty dumb stuff. Now they want to talk to you about it.
Oh, by the way, I did find there is bowling in Dave & Buster's. Importantly, it's half off on Wednesdays as of 5 years ago.
That coupon still spends. Let's go.
Good luck. It's time for What We're Following.
Oh, Blue Jackets. Oh, boy. Well, some news that I think most of the Columbus fan base is taking as a positive. Just a couple hours ago, Dean Evison and assistant coach Steve McCarthy relieved of their duties. Josh, you and I were talking before the show. Amazingly, this is the first NHL coach firing of the season, which is crazy because usually there's like 2 or 3 that get let go in what seems like October.
Yeah.
But not the case this year, so the Blue Jackets have that honor. I really like Dean Evison. I thought that he was going to be... The answer sounds like a little like I'm putting too much weight on his shoulders, but I thought he was going to at least get the Blue Jackets to maybe consistent playoff showings. And unfortunately, what this year has been, as we've complained about nearly every week, is blown third period leads. And you have multiple players, young players, mind you, that don't seem like they're getting better. In fact, they're going the wrong direction. Like I'm thinking Kent Johnson off the top of my head, who's just disappeared. And he's not the only example, and I'm not trying to throw him under the bus either, but I'm just saying there were issues. It comes at a time when the Blue Jackets will start a 3-game home trip. That's not the word, but home stand. There you go. And it comes at a point in the season where if you win all 3 of those games, you put yourself into a potential wild card. You're not in a wild card position, but you're at least within range of it as we head closer and closer to the Olympics, which, mind you, are only 23 days away. But if you lose, or if you lose like 2 or 3, maybe 1 out of 3, you're probably done. And I know the Metro and the Eastern Conference in general is just compact as I'll get, but the gap is starting to widen. And it really has widened because you lost 3 of 4 on your West Coast trip, and you needed overtime to win the game that you did win. So from a timing perspective, if you are a Blue Jackets fan or just kind of interested in the NHL, that's probably part of this. But, I think at the Nasher 61, kind of notable Blue Jackets fan that I see pop up, and he makes lots of hockey videos and just good content creator over on Twitter and I'm sure other places. He said this year has been an embarrassment in what was supposed to be a celebration for 25 years of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Basically, every player has regressed. There's no culture or identity. Enough is enough. Welcome to Columbus, Rick Bowness, which I think I'm pronouncing that right. Again, this is so new, I don't even know how his name's pronounced. But
like 2 hours ago.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
So it's all kind of sinking in for me. There's a good chance that some of us go to their game tomorrow to see what's going on. But anyways, so that's that. That's Blue Jackets.
Yeah. Aaron, if I can just for one moment.
Yeah.
I actually commend ownership for once for the Blue Jackets because this is a move that shows that they're serious.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're actually, no, we had expectations and we're not remotely meeting them. And the expectations were, we are a playoff team after just missing out last year.
Mm-hmm.
That is because we have all this young talent that look to be ascending. And if they do continue to grow, we missed out by literally a point last year.
Yeah, it came down to the final game, Ottawa.
2 additional points.
Montreal, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and we can get into the playoffs. It wasn't make the Stanley Cup. It was like, we're going to make the playoffs. And I know we're right at 500 right now, and I know it's condensed, as you said, Aaron. But that was also a good point. We're playing 2 bad teams coming up in the Flames and Canucks. You got to win them. You got to win them. And the Penguins are within reach at 6 points away.
And you play them.
You win that, you shrink
later
it.
This week.
Right. You shrink that if you beat them. That's the 3rd game of the home state. Oh, no, that's in Pittsburgh. Excuse me. But Yeah, I just actually, the ownership usually gets a lot of, much maligned. For once, I actually think I don't think this is rash. I think this is saying we have standards and we have expectations and you're not meeting them. And we're going to do what we can to try to salvage this season before the Winter Olympics while we have a home stand in winnable games, because it's still there. Yeah. Like this season's not done. Like I'm close, but I'm not quite ready to give up. And clearly the ownership isn't either.
Yeah. In potentially good or bad Ohio sports news, the Columbus Aviators are one of the newest UFL teams. And guys, I know you're super excited about this news. We had the UFL draft, and so now we have quarterbacks assigned to each of the 8 franchises, or franchise, plural. Also new to this league, or whatever you want to call it, the Louisville Kings and Orlando Storm. Are they new? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Here's what you do want to know. If you are a college football junkie, let's just reminisce on some of the names that will be playing quarterback in the UFL. For the Birmingham Stallions, and I don't know who's starting, I'm just reading names. The Birmingham Stallions, Matt Corral, who I believe was there last year. So talking about some Ole Miss quarterback play. You've got for the Columbus Aviators, Clayton Tune of Houston. Spent like 2 days with the Packers, well, longer than that, but recently got cut from the Packers like last week from their practice squad or from their roster. The Dallas Renegades have Austin Reed from Western Kentucky, who threw for 1 billion yards. You've got Spencer Sanders on the DC Defenders. That's a throwback name. How about Hunter Deckers of Iowa State playing for the Houston Gamblers? Or you've got Jason Bean, who was the backup and starting quarterback for Kansas at multiple, both at once for forever at Kansas. He's with the Louisville Kings. The Orlando Storm, DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, as well as former Purdue and Louisville quarterback Jack Plummer. And then the St. Louis Battlehawks, to round it all out, have Michael Pratt, who you last saw probably beating USC as a Tulane Green Wave. So if you are a college football sicko, you probably smiled at some of those names. And yes, you are one of us. So UFL quarterbacks, I know that's what you guys wanted to follow. And there you have it. By the way, Hunter Deckers is on the Gamblers, which is just insane.
I'm sorry. It's also, maybe I missed this. They're called the Gamblers?
The Houston Gamblers. And they have a quarterback who notably did not play as long at Iowa State as people thought because of gambling. I mean, that's crazy.
All press is good press.
Oh, man.
They just don't have these types of storylines in the NFL, guys.
Yeah, you're so right. Thank goodness we have a real football league to watch soon.
Speaking of real football, I'm going to talk about soccer.
Okay, good.
Guys, I want to talk about Micronesia, and specifically the Federated States of Micronesia. Yep, Johnny knows.
Yes, Josh.
This is thanks to Sky Speed on TikTok. Thank you for giving me the inspiration to go to the Wikipedia page of the 2015 Federated States of Micronesia National U23 football team. Micronesia, as you might expect, is small. It's not big country.
It's not Macronesia?
No, it's not Macronesia. It's 2019 estimated population's about 100,000 people spread across 4 main states over roughly 600 islands in the Pacific. They, like many countries, basically most countries not named United States of America, have a pretty robust football culture, soccer. And they wanted to try and compete internationally.
Beautiful jerseys, by the way.
Beautiful jersey. Really good jerseys. First colors, it's pretty much all blue with some white accents, really sharp. And then their secondary colors, it's this nice like orange and black. Good kits. Good kits. Is kits just the UK, or does every soccer team have a kit?
Kits. Yeah.
Good.
It's the whole uniform.
It's the whole uniform. Perfect. They wanted to get a team out to at least start the process. They're not in FIFA, to at least try and get into FIFA. You have to have a minimum number of requirements. Those I don't know. That's why we have a Johnny here, in case they become relevant. But you can't just say, hey, we're a real country, we would also like to be in FIFA. You
Hey,
have
Gibraltar
to-
as a team. Why
Yes.
can't Micronesia?
Exactly. Well, I'm about to tell you why. The 4 federated states do not have much contact with the West, and that's okay. That's totally fine. They're geographically isolated, and culturally they've kind of kept that up, and there's nothing wrong with that. That has been beautiful. But what that means is, with a country of 100,000 spread out over 600 islands, 4 main like states, you don't have equipment and infrastructure. So when they created, when I say they, I don't even see who they're
The
not.
Micronesian government.
The Micronesian
like,
government. Yeah, I'm
making
trying
the
to
team?
see. Yeah, I cannot actually. Yeah, no one's. There's at least on Wikipedia. They're not blaming who did this. Just that their head coach is Stan Foster, but there's no link to him. They weren't able to practice together. These teams, these players, because they're spread out over a few islands. There's only 2 pitches, full-size pitches in the country, and they're both part of the state of Yar.
It's probably the only island big enough to have the pitches.
Yap, sorry, Yap, not Yar. That's bad, Josh. Check before you say a syllable. And that's great, but that means that you have street ball played, and that's okay. But what this meant, and I'm doing a lot of preamble because I'm trying to give them as much credit as possible, because they did decide to enter into the 2015 U23 Pacific Games. Their first group game, their first group game, it was Micronesia against Tahiti, July 3rd, 2015. They lost 30-0 to Tahiti.
Still not as bad as
30-0.
Alabama.
Still not as bad as Alabama, turns out. And it's, you knew. They
Give the
only
boys
showed-
time, Josh. They got
Give them
this.
time. You're gonna. We see this with like the Utah Mammoth and other teams that become plants. Like, it takes a sec, and that's okay. They only had 18 players. It's a small team, not a ton of subs. Like, it happens. Now,
What you're saying is I should move and become a citizen of Micronesia.
Yes.
Ooh.
When you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players score hat tricks on your team.
Good.
And it sounds like they need a
those are just
defender,
the
Johnny.
players.
Oh, okay.
I think they
Yeah,
need one
yeah.
defender. Well, again, if it's 30-0, all you have to, I mean,
You don't know. They could be missing one singular defender. One
True.
very white singular defender.
they could. They could. Now, they next play in their group, Group A, Fiji, who they lost to 38-0.
Oh no.
Oh, now it is worse than Alabama.
Yeah,
That's not good.
That's not
Now
good.
this is worse than Alabama. And now what you have is, unfortunately, this really weird thing. Johnny, you know about goal differentials.
That's a pretty
where-
insane goal differential.
Yeah.
What you have now is you have the final team, Vanuatu, looking to go forward. Well, they have to overcome this weird goal differential.
They have to score
In
an
order-
ungodly amount of goals.
They lost to Fiji, but they can still make it through
Mm.
if they beat Micronesia by more than what they lost to Fiji by, but also more than what Fiji beat Micronesia by.
Right.
which meant that we had a 46-0
Oh
score
no!
against Micronesia.
Yeah, they
Uh,
actually had to run it up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you had to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 6 players got hat tricks that time, but their main scorer for Vanuatu, Jay Koltak, had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 credited goals.
Wow.
Put them in the World Cup.
Put them in the World Cup. Do it.
I'm just trying to think logistically because, like, number one, what's the stoppage time in a game like this? That's got to be insane.
Looks like
No, you just probably are almost like, nope, no
Well,
stoppage time.
yeah.
Like a lot of times the refs will do that.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
Yeah, it
true.
looks
nope,
like
we're done.
how long did they go? They went like what, 94 minutes first game, 96 minutes second
Okay,
game,
okay.
94.
Okay, all right. They
So,
added
like,
their normal minutes actually.
yeah, pretty standard. Yeah.
Now, my other
Um,
question is, what's the protocol if you're trying to score like 40 goals? Like, are you scoring and then you're probably taking the ball out of the goal, just sprinting
Yeah.
to this? Like, that's crazy.
You got to score a goal every 2 minutes.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you
it
have
is-
to score a goal every 2 minutes.
They have it separated out by, at least Wikipedia has it separated out by person, but I can see score in minute 2, score in minute 3, score in minute 4, score in minute 6, then score. They took a few minutes off. And then I have 1, 2, like 3 scores in minute 14, a few in 16, 18. Like, it was heavy, and then they probably go, well, this is mean. And then they remember, oh no, we have goal differential. So
Josh,
again,
you
this
know
was
what I'm
not
gonna
to make-
say?
Yes.
This is like the worst list.
Yeah.
This is not to make fun of Micronesia.
No, not at all.
Right.
Not at all.
This is for everybody to get on board and support Micronesia. Their soccer team, go get a jersey. We're
Yes.
cheering for the comeback, man. Just like Indiana football.
Absolutely. Well, here they're still like, again, they're still trying to push towards. They are not a member of FIFA or any other regional confederation. Theoretically, they could be within like Oceania, OFC.
Yep, they'd be in Oceania.
Right now, not not fully affiliated with OFC at this stage. Again, because of some things that just have to happen. But they had a 2023 Micronesian Futsal Cup, as they called it, and they're trying. And I think that's really cool. They're starting to work through that was all 4 states that I just talked about coming together, having like a national tournament. They're getting there, and that's cool. And you have to start somewhere. And honestly, props. I see this in the kind of the I don't want to say post-mortem, but against after the game against Vanuatu, their coach actually expressed relief that the team would be allowed back for the next Pacific Games if they wanted to, which meant it's like, hey, we have to weather this storm, so to speak.
Can't
that
get
was the
better if
first-
you're not there playing.
Absolutely. That was the
Gotta be there
first
playing.
time that a lot of their players had experienced a full-size pitch.
Yeah, like what do you expect?
You can't knock someone for trying like this. And yes, is that a 114-0 tournament differential? Yeah. But guess what? You didn't do, you guy listening to me on your couch. You've never played in an actual like Pacific game. You've not been on a professional soccer team. You've never represented your country and made them proud. So, take that.
They're gonna get there. They're
They're
gonna
gonna
win
get
the
there.
Pacific Games in 5 years. I believe in them.
Johnny, what games?
You said the Pacific Games.
Aaron, did you hear what I heard?
The specific games?
That's what I heard too.
Oh,
That
the
them
Pacific Games. They're gonna win those specific games as well.
Those
too. Correct.
specific games.
Um,
There we go.
What I'm following, we're going to stay on the soccer trail here. And what I'm following is if you have not been paying attention, we talked about one of our favorite games growing up, and that's Backyard Baseball, when that finally came out on mobile version. Well, if you haven't been paying attention, all of them are out now. Basketball, football, and my personal favorite, of course, Backyard Soccer. And this is actually the free one. The rest of them cost $1. I mean, $1. I know,
In
but
this economy,
Crooks.
free. And you're like, okay, like what's the soccer deal? Like, is it like, how's it fun? How's it unique? Okay, well, soccer you start off in the B division and they have promotion and relegation. You have to earn promotion to the A League and then to the Premier League, and you can get relegated if you don't play well. Middle of the season, you play in the off the wall indoor invitational tournament. Awesome. Like you're playing normal sized soccer pitches the whole time, and then you're playing indoor soccer randomly, just like they do in real life, you know. And then once you make it to the Premier League, otherwise in that B and A, you just finish first and hey, we won our league. But if you win the Premier League, you finish first, just like you do in the actual Premier League. You get an invitational to the astonishingly shiny Cup of All Cups World Tournament, where you will be playing all the teams from around the globe. So it's basically the Champions League. So this setup is phenomenal. I forgot how much I love this game. You have new and amazing team names. It's not just the same ones recycled from all the backyard sports. You have those, of course, in the B League, but you also have, you know, the kicking chickens, the tickling tornadoes, the crunchy cookies, the shiny pickles, and many, many more. It is a phenomenal game, and
to be honest,
you should all play.
that's great.
Imagine getting relegated in kids soccer. Like it's just a league buy-in for kids.
Right.
That's rage. That'll be rage quit. That'll be rage quitting.
That's a real rage.
You get relegated in backyard soccer, brutal. Like just brutal.
That's when it's time to hang it up.
It's time to hang it up. I will say I got 101 wins and only 1 draw.
101?
Yep, 0 losses, 1 draw.
What's the difficulty
650 goals for, 81 goals against. I know my stuff.
Wow.
I will say the Zeppelins nearly got
really
me in this astonishingly shiny Cup of All Cups last time.
You're really looking
we went to PKs in the final. It was serious.
Yeah.
You really are just treating every team like Micronesia then.
Yeah.
You just talked about giving them credit, then you bully them on your actual game.
Pablo's going crazy, you know.
Oh, of course.
He had 40 goals last season.
Oh my goodness. Golden boot.
Oh yeah.
Or the super shiny boot, whatever they've got in that league.
Yeah.
Platinum boot. I don't know.
Whatever they're legally allowed to have.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's great. That's a great place to end. That's your action statement. Go run up the score on a kids soccer team. Either in video games or real life. Show up to a random field on Saturday. Probably don't actually do that. But
if there's a pickup game and it's just
kids,
and you go, "Hey kids, can I play?" and you single-handedly like smoke them.
Yeah.
You better have like a guy with like a really big like over the top like YouTube camera. And,
yes.
Like try and pretend like it's an actual like bit.
Correct.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. So that's your action statement. Listeners, viewers, thank you so much for being here. Enjoy the NFL, enjoy the national championship, enjoy whatever else you got going on. I hope it's a great week, and we will talk to you all next time. Thanks for being here.